Hi everybody, it's Nikki here and welcome to a bookish video. Say it with me. It's bookgammon time. Yes, this is where I play my bookgammon board game, which is based off backgammon, to help me pick my TBR for the upcoming month. Today we are playing for my July TBR. So let's put this down and let's get some housekeeping done first. So the first bit of housekeeping are my priority picks for July. These are the books that were on my June TBR, but I did not get to them. And there's quite a few, to be honest. So the first one of those is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I did not get to this one and I'm really sad about it because I was quite excited for this one, despite it being a contemporary, because the synopsis for this gives me very much Mills and Boon kind of vibes. So I was really looking forward to reading this, but never mind. The next one, again, I'm really sad I didn't get to because it is the third book in the Imposter series, and that is Mirror's Edge by Scott Westerfeld. As you know, Achilles by Scott Westerfeld is my favourite series of all time, and I am loving the new series, Imposters. I say new, it's been out a few years, but the fourth book has just been published. This is book 3, but I sadly did not get to it, so yes. Maybe another time. The next one, I know my book club ladies are a little bit sad that I didn't get to. It was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Did not get to it. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood to cry in June. I don't know. But I was just putting it off and I just didn't get to it. The next one I didn't get to because I normally listen to my classics on audiobook and I got stuck listening to a very long audiobook in June. So I did not get to Bedknobs and Broomsticks by Mary Norton. It's only a short one. I should have been able to just nip it in, but I didn't. So never mind, maybe this month. Still going with those priority picks. The next one is Skandar and the Unicorn Thief by A.F. Steadman. Again, just did not get to it. I was hoping to knock a couple out during the 48-hour readathon for the Whatever You Want-a-thon that I was taking part of in June. However, my reading mojo kind of upped and left me. So I got quite a few short books done, but this was one of the big ones that I wanted to get done that weekend and I just didn't get to it. So sadly, no, but it could be a priority pick for July, you never know. And last but not least, and this one is the one that I am kicking myself about the most because this was the one I was most excited about, was The Atlas 6 by Olivier. I already have the second book on pre-order, but I have not read the first one yet and I really need to get to it soon. I was thinking about putting this in as my star book for July because I want to read this so badly. However, let's get to the star book and the bomb book next and I'll tell you what I've chosen instead of this for my star book. So, the star book and the bomb book. We choose one each month. So let's talk about that star book. So, in the month of July, one of my favourite authors is debuting her first fantasy novel. It is called The Society for Soulless Girls by Laura Stephen. I'll give you a shot of its cover. Now, I don't know if this is being released in the US yet. I'm not sure. I know that The Exact Opposite of OK didn't release at the same time in the US as it did in the UK. So I'm really sorry for my UK subscribers. If you're watching this and this sounds interesting, you might have to wait a while. Let me read you the synopsis because this is good. From the winner of the Comedy Women in Print Prize. 10 years ago, 4 students lost their lives in the infamous North Tower murders at the elite Carvel College of Arts, forcing Carvel to close its doors. Now Carvel is reopening, and fearless student Lottie is determined to find out what really happened. But when her roommate Alice stumbles upon a sinister, soul-splitting ritual hidden in Carvel's haunted library, the North Tower claims another victim. Can Lottie uncover the truth before the North Tower strikes again? Can Alice reverse the ritual before her monstrous alter ego consumes her? And can they stop flirting for literally 15 seconds in order to do this? Exploring possession and ambition, lust and bloodlust, femininity and violence, the Society of Soulless Girls is perfect for fans of Ace of Spaces, The Secret History and The Inheritance games. It is being described as a sapphic Jekyll and Hyde retelling, and I am here for it. Plus as well, I hear there is an immortal cat. So yes, mine is on its way. I got the email yesterday to say, hey, we've dispatched your copy of The Society for Soulless Girls by Laura Stephen, and I will get another email when it reaches the local shop of Waterstones that I have ordered it from to go and collect. And I am so excited for it. It will probably be the first book I pick up because I have been waiting for this all year. The Exact Opposite of Okay by Laura Stephen was my favourite book of 2019, and I have been just eagerly anticipating this new debut fantasy novel from her for a long time. So yes, that is my star book for July. And the bomb book, so let's show you. And the bomb book for July is going to be, I'm doing it again, I'm putting it in again because I really need to move on to the next one in the Wheel of Time series. So I'm kind of, although I'm calling it my bomb book, I'd be quite happy to either get my star book or the bomb book this month because I really do need to move on. So this is The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, book 2 in the Wheel of Time series. I'm sure everybody has heard of the Wheel of Time series. If not, think Lord of the Rings kind of started. It felt very similar to Lord of the Rings, where you have a group of normal teenagers just living their life. Suddenly, they're the ones that are going to save the world from the biggest evil the world has ever known. And they go off on this journey to, I don't know, save the world, I suppose. Pretty much it. But book 2 is obviously following on from book 1. And I do listen to these on audiobook as well as follow along with the book as well, because otherwise I get lost and confused very, very easily. These are very, very dense writing, and I need to concentrate when I'm reading these, as I noticed when I read the first book. So that is my bomb book for the month. So with all of that done, I think that's all the housekeeping. I am taking part in a readathon in July. It kind of started in the back end of June, on the 27th of June, and it runs until the 10th of July. However, I haven't managed to start it yet because I've been so caught up in my books for June that I had to read. But it is the Mermaid Marathon, hosted by the Brightside Girl. I will leave her channel linked in the description box below this video. And the hashtag for it is Mermaid Marathon Reads. And there are 5 prompts. And it's basically to read as much mermaid and piratey books as you possibly can. Because like myself, the lady from the Brightside Girl channel, I forget her name, sorry, I do apologise. She's a big fan of mermaids, like me. So yeah, so the first prompt is a book set on a boat. So for that, I'm going to read Scatterheart. The next prompt is to read a pirate book, and for that I'm going to read Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. So it's this one. The next one is Beach Read, and this kind of also goes as a priority pick for July because Book Lovers by Emily Henry was on my June TBR. However, when I realised it would fit a Mermaid Marathon prompt, I put it aside straight away so I could read it for that instead. So this is for Beach Read. The next prompt is to read a book set on an island. If I hadn't have already read The Sea Women by Chloe Timms, that is a perfect mermaid book for this prompt. However, instead, because I have read The Sea Women, I'm going to be reading The Mercies by Kieran Millward Hargrave. And the last prompt for the Mermaid Marathon, hosted by the Brightside Girl, is a nautical cover. And for that, I am going to be reading All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. This is a mermaid book, I do believe, and pirates, and I don't think you can get any more nautical than this. Those are all the books that I am going to be reading for the Mermaid Marathon. With all of that now done, let's get to the Bookgammon gameplay for July. Wish me luck. So, to remind ourselves of the categories, we have red for thriller, pink for contemporary, orange for classics, green for middle grade, yellow for graphic novels and mangas, purple for non-fiction, and blue for fantasy and sci-fi. To place our Bomb Book and Starbook tokens, I'm going to use a random number generator. So let's place the Bomb Book first. Space number 15, so 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it is going on a contemporary space. And then for the star token, ooh, 17, they're going to be close together again. So it's going on a middle grade space. They were pretty close together last month as well. So we have our prompt cards, so let's give them a shuffle. Badly. I can't shuffle. Alright, so that's them. We have our 2 dice and our shaker. And I think today we're going to use the 2 brown pieces for a change. So we'll have them sat, ready and waiting to go. So roll number 1. Remember, we're going from this side, around and ending here. So roll number 1. It's a 4 and a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've landed on a blue, which is fantasy, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've landed on a yellow graphic novel. Okay, so for the yellow graphic novel, we have a comic book. Now, I have quite a few comics that I got from a free comic book day, so I guess I'll pick a couple out and I will just read a couple of those. And then the blue fantasy, it's a mermaid book. Yay! That's going to fit in really well for the Mermaid Readathon that I am taking part in the first week of July. Roll number 2. 4 and a 6 again. Okay. Let's go 4 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've both landed on the same space, which is an ebook space, which means no prompt for this one because I just read an ebook. Any ebook I want. So roll number 3. Can any of them, or I don't think we'll hit the star book in this roll, but we could hit the bomb book. I'm really worried. Roll number 3. It's a double 3. We're not going anywhere near them because we have to move them both backwards, because a double odd number means we move backwards. So we move both of them 3. 1, 2, 3. So we move back to a classic. And oh my goodness, of all the times to pull it out, the prompt for the classic is longest on TBR. I really don't want to do this. Roll number 4. Not another one. Oh, I thought it was going to be another double then. So 1 and 5. So we'll move this one 1 onto a graphic novel or manga, and this one 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is a contemporary. So the contemporary needs to be written by a woman, and the graphic novel or manga is next in series, which is really good because it means I can continue the Assassination Classroom series, most likely. Roll number 5. 6 and a 4 again. Wow, that's the third time. Okay, so let's move this one 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get a thriller. We're in the middle of the bomb book and the star book. And this one 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a fantasy. So for the thriller space, it says go forward 3 spaces. So let's do that now. 1, 2, 3. So we now take the prompt for the graphic novel or manga, and it says a library book. And then for the fantasy space, it says a Cassandra Clare book. Oh no, I know which is the next one I wanted to read in that. Cassandra Clare Shadowhunter series. And I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, so we have a library book for graphic novel and manga, and a Cassandra Clare book for the fantasy. Okay, so roll number 6. Ooh, a 2 and a 5. Okay. We'll go 1, 2 for the thriller, and we'll do 5 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a middle grade. So for the thriller, we have a title starting with the, which is great. A lot of books start with the word the. And then the middle grade is chapters have titles. So instead of chapter 3, chapter 4, it has to have like a worded title. So we'll be having a look at those. So for roll number 7, this one hopefully will be going home unless we get a double odd number again. But we seem to have, we're in the middle of the bum book and the star book on this side, so we need a 1. We got a 1! Yes! So I landed on the star book, so we get to read my star book for the month. And then this one goes home with 5, so that is that one. So we don't need a prompt for this one, we just get the star book. So we remove 1 dice because we only have 1 piece on the board, and we remove the bomb token because we don't need that anymore. So roll number 8. It is a 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a contemporary. And the prompt for that is an artistic cover. Roll number 9. Are we going home? Yes, we are. It's a 5. 1, 2, and we're home. And that is it. Bookgammon over for another month. So that was it. That was the gameplay. We had a pretty decent run, I think. No big surprises, no big problems. She was nice to me. What is going on? The last time she was nice to me, I had a couple of gameplays that were nice to me, and then she hit me. So I'm careful around Bookgammon. She can be nice to lull me into a false sense of security. That's what she's doing. She's going to come at me next month. I feel it. I can feel it. So anyway, let's get into roll number one. So roll number one, our first prompt was a fantasy, and the prompt for that was a mermaid book. So guess what? I'm putting this one in for that. All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. I'm already going to be reading it for the Mermaid Readathon, so I might as well use it for this prompt as well, so I don't have to add an extra book, basically. So that is that one. The second one was, second prompt for roll number one was mangas, graphic novels, and to that I need to read comic books. Now I have plenty of comic books. They're all down there. They're down there and I can't get to them, but I have a whole wad of them, so I'll just pick a few and sit and read them, and then I'll let you know which ones I picked when I come to my wrap up in August. So click on the subscribe button and the notification button and you won't miss it. So yes, we're going to do that. For roll number two, we landed on an ebook space. So for this prompt, I am going to turn to my NetGalley shelf because I really do need to get these NetGalley e-arcs read as quickly as possible. I feel like it is my duty to do that, as the publishers have kindly allowed me to do. So I'm going to be reading Daughter of Darkness by Catherine and Elizabeth Call, I think. It is that one there. So a stunning new YA duology set in a world inspired by the mythology of ancient Greece, perfect for fans of Alexander Bracken's Lore and Jessie Burton's Medusa. Now, I wasn't a massive fan of Lore by Alexander Bracken, and I've not read Medusa yet by Jessie Burton. However, that is on my wish list to read. I'm still hunting for a Greek story retelling that I'm going to love, because I want to, but I have not found one yet that I can fall in love with. But this one sounds amazing, and the cover is stunning, and this is due for release on the 4th of August 2022 by Hot Key Books. So yes, I will be reading the e-arc for that. For roll number three, we got classic, the longest on my TBR. So technically, this is not the longest on my TBR, but it's volume 2 of a classic. So combined, the two together are the longest classic on my TBR. And as I read volume 1 in June, I'm going to read volume 2 in July. It's Les Mis by Victor Hugo. As I say, I started the audiobook for Les Miserables, but the audiobook is the full book. So I'm halfway through an audiobook. So I thought, perfect. I'll get the second volume on my July TBR and I can finish the audiobook. Up there for thinking. So yeah, that is my book that I'm going to read for the longest on my TBR, for the classic. For roll number 4, our first prompt was graphic novel manga, next in the series. Are we surprised? It's going to be the next one, in Assassination Classroom by Yusei Matsui. I am on to number 8. I do not need to say any more than that. The second prompt for roll number 4 was a contemporary, and that was one written by a woman. So I am going to, on a minute, because I'd chosen something else, but priority pick. Priority pick. Okay. I'm going to go for Lauren Asher's The Fine Print. I did want to get to it, and it is a priority pick, and I completely forgot that when I was picking my books. So, oopsies. Last minute change in my TBR, but hey, here we are. I remembered when it counted. So I'm going to be reading The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. So that is the one I'm going to be reading for this prompt. For roll number 5, we did land on the go forward 3 spaces, and that then took us to a graphic novel or manga, and that told me to pick a library book. So I will be going to my library sometime in July and picking a book from there to read. The second prompt was a fantasy, and very specifically a Cassandra Clare one. So I am reading these in publishing order. So the next one I am due to read is this one. This is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. It's written by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Rees Brennan, Maureen Johnson and Robin Wesserman. I believe she brings these extra authors in when she's writing the short story collections things, which is I believe what this is. However, I do believe that this concentrates on my favourite character in the Shadowhunter series, and that is Simon. I like Simon. I will start this on the 1st of July and I will not finish it till the end because I get through these so slowly. I don't know what it is about Cassandra Clare's writing, but I just cannot get through them quickly. So they take me forever. So I will be reading that one. For roll number 6, we got a thriller, and that was a title starting with the word the. And so some people might say this is a bit fantastical, but I say it's a thriller. The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum. So it looks like this. And it does say on the back of it, a mesmerising thriller that questions the space where reality and perception overlap. So somebody else has called it a thriller as well. Written with vivid intensity, The Wicker King explores a relationship fraught with tension, madness and love. And what I really like about this book and what really drew me in is in the beginning the pages are white, and then as the madness descends the pages disintegrate. So you can see the pages start to disintegrate until eventually they go black. And I just think that is awesome because the book is leading me where my mind is going, and I am here for it. I have been so excited for this book for so long. Plus it's a floppy and we all like a floppy book. So yes, there we go. And the second prompt for roll number 6 was a middle grade, a book that has chapters have titles. So for that one, I have gone back to my priority picks. I was with it when I chose this one. And funnily enough, Skandar and the Unicorn Thief by A.F. Steadman does have titles for chapter headings. So let me find you one. We'll find it near the beginning so it's not too much of a spoiler. So here you can see chapter 3, the Hatchery Exam. So it has a title for its chapter. For roll number 7, we got that star book. So I am going to be reading The Society for Soulless Girls by Laura Stephen, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I am so excited for this. I am sad that I haven't got the bomb book. So I might, if I manage to finish the audiobook for Les Mis early on in the month, I may still pick up The Great Hunt because I need to get going with it. Like, I read book 1 ages ago, months ago, and I can barely remember what happened. So I need to get going with it. So yeah, if I finish Les Mis early enough in the month, I may still pick up The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan on audiobook, because I think that's the only way I'm going to get it read. And then our second piece got home, so then we were only playing with one more piece, and our final roll we landed on contemporary, and for that we needed to read an artistic cover book. I could have used the fine print for that one as well, but anyway, I'm not. I'm going to be reading After Love by Tanya Byrne. So it's like this, and it is an artistic cover because these are drawn, not photoed or anything like that. So yeah, this was a copy that I got in Fairy Loot. Sometimes we used to get a paperback book as well as the hardback book of the month. And this was one of them. It's got beautiful bright pink sprayed edges. You could say that because this deals with the afterlife and reapers, that it's more fantasy than contemporary, but I'm guessing that this is going to be set in the real world. So I'm calling it contemporary. It's contemporary fantasy. Don't they call it modern realism or something like that? I can't remember what the exact term for it is. It's set in the modern world with a slight fantastical element. I'm counting it as contemporary. So I'm going to be reading this one for that prompt. So that is it. That is my TBR for Bookgammon. Let me see if I can hold this book up for you. Assassination Classroom is the wrong way round, but anyway. Oh, I nearly dropped that then. So this is my physical TBR, plus there will be, plus All the Stars and Teeth is on top of that as well, plus the Society for Soulless Girls, and then obviously I have some ebooks and audiobooks and everything to go on top of that. There is no buddy read this month with Charlotte. We are taking a break just to give ourselves a breather. A, because I have a lot of books already to read in July, and Charlotte has her own stuff going on. So no buddy read with Charlotte this month. So I'm happy to take a break. We don't have to do one every month. We might end up watching Buffy as a buddy watch instead. Because I've recently got into that, but yes, and I believe that, the book club pick for my Waterstones book club is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. It's a very short one, which I'm grateful for. So this one says, living in the Blackwood family home with only her sister Constance and her uncle Julian for company, Mary Cat just wants to preserve their delicate way of life, but ever since Constance was acquitted of murdering the rest of the family, the world isn't leaving the Blackwoods alone. And when Cousin Charles arrives, armed with overtures of friendship and a desperate need to get into the safe, Mary Cat must do everything in her power to protect the remaining family. In her final greatest novel, Shirley Jackson draws us into a dark, unsettling world of family rivalries, suspense and exquisite black comedy. So I've never read anything from Shirley Jackson before, so this will be a new experience for me. But this is my Waterstones book club pick for July. So lots of books there for me to read. I'm guessing I'm not going to get to all of them. But I do have some that I'm more excited about than others. So we shall see what we get up to in July later. But that is my TBR for another month. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.